I am your host, Lia Dunlap, and you are listening to the Oracle on Purpose podcast, where we help intentional leaders clarify their purpose and next steps to create a work and life of significance.
All right. I am so excited to be here today with Annette Comer. She is a phenomenal leadership coach and a wonderful podcaster who's about to launch an amazing new podcast as well. So look forward to that because I know there'll be some great juicy conversations and really good information with her wealth of knowledge. But today I'm really excited because she has agreed to be here to share a little bit about what it's like and what her experience was together as working with the Oracle and myself. So my first question is for you to just basically introduce yourself and tell us more about what you do.
Okay, great. And Lia, it's such a pleasure for me to be able to brag a little bit on you because you're so easy to brag about you. So my name again is Annette Comer, and I am a women's leadership expert. I have something called the World's Greatest Women Academy, where I teach savvy business leaders, especially women, how to play the rules of the game to win and without losing their authentic selves. So that's pretty much what I do. Yeah.
Yes. And savvy women, if it comes to savvy women, I know that they are completely in the right hands because that's the one great thing I love when I first met Annette was just, first of all, if you ever get the chance to see her in her red outfit, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But you have such a impressive energy. When you walk into a room, you're so open, you're so gregarious, you're so bright and shining and present. You know, you really do command that experience of being on the leader. And so tell me, you know, what particular challenge were you dealing with that we had to work through and you know, that you sought my guidance for?
Well, it's interesting because I think when you and I met, we immediately bonded. And I think for those that are watching this and listening to this know that when you meet people that are aligned with you, it just feels right. There's something that delivers itself that resonates. But the thing that attracted me to you, and it was that I also sensed that you were very intuitive and very present. And through that you could see through a fog that might be there that maybe I couldn't see through in spite of all my wisdom, all my years of experience. And it wasn't a confidence issue for me. And it wasn't a standing in my power issue with me, but you very quickly zeroed in that those were not the issues, which maybe somebody else would have used the old worn out phrase of, well, maybe it's a lack of confidence and all that. And that was what was so beautiful about you, Lia. None of the traditional stuff came through. You went so much deeper into the fog and said, there's something else that we're not tying into. Let's see if we can uncover that. And just by a few simple phrases, it was like somebody took and smacked me and thought, oh my gosh, I hadn't even thought of that. And I'll never forget that value that you brought me. I'm so appreciative.
I love that. Do you remember the answer that you received, and how did that impact your next moves? Because I know that's
well, and I've told this story to others about what you did because it shook me so much. And the thing that was interesting is I had kept hearing over and over about the work that I do and the message that I bring, that it was going to be very powerful. And that the common phrase that I always heard was, you don't have any idea how big this is going to be. And when I'd always heard that in the past, I had laughed. And in fact, I'd heard that 3 times in the 3 weeks prior to our session together. And as you were asking me about myself and my work, your comment was, you have no idea how big this is going to be. And I laughed. But you did something different. You didn't laugh. And you said, why did you laugh? And I said, well, I laughed because I've heard it 3 times in the last 3 weeks. And you did something interesting. You put your lovely face right up to the camera. I mean, it was like you were right there smacking my face and said, how many times do you need to hear it? And I didn't laugh. I stopped. And it was very obvious that you had gotten inspiration from somewhere else that was sending a message saying, you need to start taking this seriously. And then you went on to say, you need to dig in and we can go further into finding out what is it, but you need to get ready. And when I hung up from our call, I remember sitting in my office thinking, oh my gosh, what the heck just happened? And for the first time in a very long time, something about what you said, that statement, and the fact that you got your face right up in the camera, I'll never forget that. I thought, oh my gosh, she's coming after me. And it was what I needed. And I think that is what you're going to bring to others, is you bring what they don't even know they need.
Great. I love that you had that impression and sort of yes. I mean, I do. I think I have clients who say, like, I want you to get real with me so I can appreciate that. That's probably how it looks like. Of course, nothing happens in a vacuum, and you're of course maybe utilizing additional strategies and things with the work that we did. But I'm curious to know, like, what was it that impressed you with the way it was delivered that helped you understand the value of what the information was?
Well, I think the fact that you were so concise in your delivery. So many other coaches and people that are helping people reach their full potential will go around in circles, or they'll deliver worn out concepts. And I didn't feel any of that from you, which was very refreshing. And you weren't one that tried to spin a story. There was none of that. It was just that one statement delivery, and it was delivered with so much power and confidence that it stopped me. And because I wasn't used to someone being that direct, nor being that concise in the message. And I think that is something that you bring of tremendous value, that is, you're able to not use the worn out phrases and the worn out approaches. You recognize that people that are ready to move forward and step in to their potential are going to be open to hearing those things. And if they aren't, they probably aren't the right ones to work with you.
Right. Yeah, definitely have to be open to. I love that. Thank you. Yes. Well, what other, were there any ancillary benefits? Did you feel like, was there an emotional shift, a physical shift? Like what started to move once that message was delivered for you? How do you think that impacted your
well, I think it the fact that you didn't laugh when I laughed. All the other times people had laughed when I laughed at their statement, they didn't deliver it with humor. They reacted to my kind of deflection, brushing it off. And you didn't do that. And when you didn't do that, that created a tipping point, a shifting point. And that was a different reaction. And that different reaction got my attention and made me go back and think, well, maybe there is something. And then I found that after that, another meeting or two that followed with another colleague after our meeting, she said the same thing. She said to me, you have no idea what you're working on, how big this is going to be. But when she said it, for the first time, I didn't laugh. And I said, yeah, I do know.
Yes, I love it.
And then she said that this other woman said to me, there's something holding you back. There's something holding you back, which led me down to another path of working with a therapist who could dig into what was in my subconscious, which was something I was not even aware of. And none of that would have started without your intervention and getting me into a different path. So you were not the total picture, but without you, I would have never got to the total picture.
I love it. Thank you. Yeah. And I love that you're saying that, because I know that sometimes, people that are like you, very successful and feel like they should have it all together and know all the answers, there are blind spots. And when you can open that avenue, things can shift. And so I appreciate that, because I think that's an important piece that people don't always see. They think that they don't need help or that they shouldn't need help. And so there they are. Can you tell me if someone out there who's actually feeling like they aren't really clear about one specific aspect or something is amiss, would you recommend that they work with someone like me or me in general?
Well, I wouldn't recommend that they work with someone like you. I would recommend they work with you, because I've seen a lot of those someone like yous out there, and they are not like you, Lia. So that's not even an option for anybody watching this. So if you're watching this, I can tell you that you bring something that others don't. And I think it's a combination of listening, your input from the oracle side that you're so in tune with. You have the years of maturity and the wisdom that comes with that. And I think you are like me in that both of us are very well grounded in who we are and where we are. And so you are the perfect person, and was the perfect person to work with me, because if you were not grounded, I would have felt that energy, and you would have been fluttering around, and there've been insecurities, and anyone that is very driven and considers himself a very high performing type individual, whether it be a woman or a man, they need somebody like you that is very grounded and is very aware of what value they bring and where they can help, as opposed to making it up as they go, which there's a lot of that out there, as we both know.
Yes, we both know that.
Yes, we do.
So I thank you. Yes, and thank you for sharing that. Is there anything else about the experience that you would like to share, or anything else you'd like to say before we finish up?
I think something you said that I just want to wrap up with. Something you said that people that are very successful and very driven, that often they think they don't need help, or maybe they worry about that admitting they need help or need some indirect instruction in something admits that they're weak in some way. And I caution people for that, because if I had approached you that way, I would have never had the breakthrough that I had. And it's interesting, I don't really think I got to you and was open to you out of evolution. I think I got to you out of exhaustion of trying to figure it out myself. And so if anybody out there is feeling, dang, why can't I just figure this out?
Yes, call Lia. I'm here, ready to help. Absolutely. Oh my God. Thank you so very much for taking the time to share your experience. And I know that will help others realize that there is hope when they're feeling exhausted, to make sure they get back on the right path.
Absolutely.
So thank you
Absolutely.
very, very much. I appreciate you. And I'm so excited to see your rest of your journey. And I will stay in touch with you as well. Thank you.
I have no doubt you'll be a part of it.
Thanks for tuning in to the Oracle on Purpose show. If you found value in this episode, we'd appreciate you leaving a comment. Also, you can subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't yet. If you'd like to get clear on your highest vision and next steps, go to oracleonpurpose.com. See you next week.